What up, players? It's another Adonis review. Today, I thought I would do Dying Light 2. I've been kind of delaying on doing this, uh, but I thought, it's a, I don't know. It's a game that it's a long game to play, and it's kind of not the easiest to force yourself to play it. I can't really explain it, but so I was trying to make sure I got a good amount of hours in on the game to before I, reviewed it and kind of gave people my thoughts. And I'm glad I've given it more time than when I was planning to do it. Because I've kind of given myself better opinions of it. But um, with that being said, it could have been better, I guess. So, first off, I've always been a slight fan of Dying Light. I have the first one. I got pretty far in it, and then kind of gave up on it. And I don't know if necessarily. I think I'm just kind of against. I don't know. Maybe it's like maybe I'm kind of against the the games. I don't know that like it's that there's no guns, and it's like not like you have to have a gun in the game. Obviously, like Witcher is awesome and whatnot, but I don't know. I just kind of hate like Dead Island and Dying Light and the fact that you just get like makeshift weapons and shit that break over time. I really just don't like that. Having kind of it's not like it's necessarily tough to find weapons to use or anything. I just don't like it. I just don't think that I think there's a reason why you shouldn't you shouldn't like why a lot of games don't do first person swords. I love you think it's gonna look cool and you think like playing first person with a sword, and there's a few games that do all right with it. Like like Shadow Warrior is decent. It's kind of doing first person sword. But if you think about games that really do it, that are first person and have a sword, there's a lot like Destiny, for example. It puts you in a third person when you have the sword, which I think is a clever, just like a better idea, of how to do it. Uh, and like I said, Shadow Warrior does it, but Shadow Warrior gives you, guns and whatnot, and then you kind of like you just fully throw on having like only having a sword of first person, because all you can kind of do is just fucking button smash in front of you and just some chaos. And if there's any type of actual reality where you can get fucked up and you need to block and stuff, like it's just a mess. It's really hard to follow. So that's maybe one of the reasons why I kind of was against this game in the beginning. So with that being said, uh, that's why maybe kind of one of the reasons why I find it kind of difficult to kind of get really far in this game and I don't know, it just makes it difficult. But I'll kind of get into it so I can get this over with. But overall, I like I kind of say as my
I
motto,
hope the kids are all right.
any game nowadays is worth playing. It's not a it's not most games don't suck, right? This game has put there's hundreds of man hours that have been put into it, and there's no reason why this game isn't good. The graphics are beautiful. They are a little bit shoddier than I thought they would be when I first started playing it. I thought that the first one looks amazing. It definitely had its time for 2015, and this doesn't improve too far past that. It does look better, of course, but with that being said, it's rough around the edges in some places, you know, and maybe it's like there's so much detail that it's just like it's giving us too close of a view on how beautiful it looks. So the rough edges are a little bit noticeable. Not that it looks bad or anything. It just it could look smoother. You know, there's some games you play and it's just so smooth and everything is so detailed. This has like a grainy film to it. You know, which again doesn't make it bad. It's still an amazing looking game. It's just not as smooth as it can be. I can't really say it better, but graphics do look good. You know, definitely. I would say if you're gonna play this game because of graphics, you know, there's no reason not to. It does have fantastic looking graphics. Another thing that this game does well is, you know, there's really two layers to it. Maybe the maps aren't that big and it's kind of a trick, but there's two layers to the game, and that's, you know, the rooftop areas is like one level, and then the ground, and you spend most of your time in the game, you know, on the roofs. It's kind of like where you live, and you traverse it. You don't really spend much time on the ground because that's where all the zombies are, and you know, it's just you're asking the fucking for an annoying fight if you are on the ground, so you don't do it. Um, and I'll say, you know, so that's kind of a good thing. Another thing this game really does well is, you know, a lot of its challenges are and side missions are kind of put into parkour challenges where you gotta make your way up roofs and you know, kind of find interesting ways to kind of parkour up things. And I have to say, when that's done, it's done pretty well. You definitely have, you feel like you have a good use of your parkour abilities, and you know, you kind of they expand. You know, a lot of your half your skill points kind of go to uh they go towards upgrading your parkour skills. You know, so eventually you can walk on walls and you can climb things for longer. That's kind of the most annoying thing in the beginning is you have low stamina, kind of like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where you have to fucking climb shit and you'll fall off if you don't like fucking have enough stamina. That's how this game starts off, and you know, same thing. We trying to climb shit and you just don't have enough stamina to get up it, which is annoying. And then you have to use skill points to level that up, and that's something that's annoying. But it is, once you kind of start leveling up, it is kind of nice. A lot of things I do feel like you should have got off right off the bat. You know, like I got like running on like wall running. It seems like something that, you know, maybe it should be a skill that you upgrade later on. It's really not. I don't use it that much. It just would have been nice to have originally. You know, just to start off, there's no reason I feel like they kind of hold me back from wall running and shit like that. It's not like a super useful skill, which I definitely needed to do shit. Stamina is the thing that really fucked me not having. But with that being said, like I said, the parkour challenges are definitely kind of one of the staples of the game. It's kind of the thing that makes this game fun and unique and exciting. As you see here, one of these main challenges is really fucking is kind of like this windmill challenge. If you ever played Far Cry, you know, 3 or 4 in the beginning, you know, a lot of these beginning games had like a tower you always had to climb in first person. That was kind of the cool thing about it, and that's kind of like these windmill challenges they have here. You know, you have to find a way to get up on this windmill. I don't know if this is the right way, but I just got the ability to fucking dick. I just got the ability to use a paraglider not too long ago, and I'm assuming that that's how I do it. But anywho, that's kind of, you know, the positives. But the negatives of the game are, it's hard. It's really hard for me to kind of get in tune with the story. You know, it's kind of really boring. It's not the most invigorating, and they try. There's times where it seems like, you know, it's not going to be that bad. Or they, you know, there's some stories where they seem kind of interesting, but I don't know. I'm just not that invested in it. You know, I'm almost tuning out half the time, zoning out whenever they have characters talking. Their characters are just really generic, and it's not interesting to me. Maybe it's because the main character's not that interesting to me. I like when characters are just built and I don't have to make them myself, and then, you know, and then have a faceless kind of protagonist. Like, give me a character with, you know, his own emotions and feelings and, you know, ways to do things like Geralt in Witcher, and you know, that's all I need kind of in a game. But with that being said, that's probably the biggest downfall is the fact that the character development is just kind of boring and whatnot. And like I said, I don't like the fact that you don't really have a gun. I mean, you have a bow and arrow, I guess, and throwing knives and shit like that, but I don't know. I'd really enjoy it more if I had like a fucking gun. Even if I could use it only sometimes, you know, like it's a sniper with only like fucking like bullets were just super seldom. Like I really had to use them on special occasions. That would be awesome. But it's not where you gave them to me. But anywho, if the fucking story was a little bit more invigorating, I feel like this game would be a lot better. Graphics aren't bad enough to kind of ruin it for anybody. So I don't know. I'd say I'd give this game maybe like a 70%. I don't know, 71% or something of enjoyment. I think it's worth it. If I was to tell you a price, I think right now you can probably find this game for like $30 on Amazon. So, which isn't bad. I think it's worth it. Definitely with a top tier game. It has been, 5 months maybe since it first came out. So, I'd say that likely the cheapest you probably find this game and a pretty fair price to get it if you find it for this price would be like $25. If you can get it for $25, it's fair. It's worth $25. I'd say that. The lowest you could possibly get it right now is maybe $20 if you were lucky and you just look hard enough or find an offer. I'm sure you can get it for $20, which would be a good deal for it. The max I'd probably pay for it's like $35. I don't think it's really worth more. It's a decent game, but like I said, it just I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't hold my attention. I try to get into it. I try to force myself to get through missions, and sometimes it kind of hooks me where I'm like, oh, I can do this and that. But then sometimes it just drives you so far away where you just have nothing to do, and I just find myself like falling asleep at the wheel. So I hope that helps. Like I said, it's a good game. It's definitely rougher on the edges. Best way I can put it. Later, guys.